What's up, fam? Welcome back to the channel. You already know what time it is. It's that time again to check out some custom creations. We know there's lots of toy tube channels out there to tune into, but thanks for checking out the channel that makes you say, dang, that's what's up. Now, before we get started, let me be absolutely clear on this point. If anyone leaves a political comment in the comment section down below, and I mean anyone, you're gonna get booted right out of here. You're gonna be gone. Just kidding. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if a grown man told you, another grown person, what you can and can't say in a free platform like YouTube? That's ridiculous. You know what? But I dare you. I dare you to leave a comment. Leave a political comment. Say something. You won't. Say it. I bet you don't. Come on. I triple dog dare you to leave a comment down below. You're scared. That's fine. You don't want to get political. You don't want that smoke. You don't want this heat. Go ahead. Leave a comment. Find out. It's okay. You can say what you want because we all grown folk here. How do I know? Because I understand that this hobby, this collector space is filled with people who fall into one of two categories. Either you're old enough to have a child graduating from middle school or you're not allowed within 500 feet of a middle school. And I think you know which one is which. The point being, we are adults. We are older, predominantly male, but yes, there are some females that inhabit this space, the majority of which is most likely some thirst trap trying to cash in on adult male simps, sending them some super chats because they're thrilled to have a female face on the screen talking about the things they love. And hey, man, that's okay. You do you, homie. That's fine. It's better than sending another adult man $20 super chats so they can say your name out loud in the words of Talker Art. That sounds super gay. But anyway, that's fine. You do you. It's your money. Spend it the way you want to spend it, because at the end of the day, it's about finding some community. And I know some people don't like that word, but that's what it is. It's being surrounded by people who appreciate the same things you do, and you get to spend time where everybody knows your name, right? And sometimes you like to hear your name said out loud, and you pay for it if you have to. Ain't no one here to shade your shine. We just here to talk about toys, because that's the fun part about this hobby of collecting, is we get to escape all the hectic pressures of reality, all the difficulties that may surround you, and be able to focus on a little bit of creativity. So sit back, relax, enjoy some of these images as we show you some of the new projects we've been working on recently. I know this video has been long overdue. We're trying to get it out a lot sooner, but life gets busy. You know that 2025 was the highest graduation class in U.S. history. So we got a lot going on this time of year, and we're preparing for the road to DFW. That's right. If you've never been there in Dallas, it's worth checking out. I went to my first time last year. Had a great experience. Looking forward to going back this year. Can't wait to get there, see what new and exciting things they have for us. Planning to sit in on the Valaverse panel to see their new items for the rest of this year. Series 6, 2026, new vehicles, new rigs, new accessories. Rumor has it that they're trying to create a more modular line for customizers. Is that possible? I hope so. That's what we're looking forward to. Guys out there who want to have a successful toy line, here's the secret. Give you some inside baseball. All you got to do is, one, keep it affordable, because customizers love to buy in bulk. We like to get lots of figures so that we can experiment with, be creative with, use parts from, take parts from. You can't do this when figures are really expensive. You kind of feel bad about tearing them apart or using them for fodder. But when you pick up something on the low at Ollie's or at some, bargain bin place, then there's no problem picking up a few extra to experiment with and have fun with. So keep them affordable and keep them customizable. If you don't have to work at boiling and popping to take things off like a secondary so that you can mess around with a different figure and a different look, it's so much easier. Thank you, Valaverse, for making it to where you can easily take off the secondaries. But if I have one request from the customizing community, I would ask that you please give us more variety. This last series had a couple of vests, one main rig with the ammo pouches. It was a nice new addition, but we're sorely lacking inventory on the older models. As you see here, we took his naval basic figure and we decided to use it in our own world building as part of a police force, a SWAT team. So we took some of those vests from series 1 or 2 early on in the line that are still great for customizing, still great for mixing and matching. These new bucks are really awesome. It almost makes me feel bad because I loved the older bucks so much, and now I feel like there is a discrepancy, a gap from one to the other, but I'm glad to see that they are moving forward and getting better. I like this model in particular, and I kind of like the idea of Army building a police force, so I put this little team together. I know that the G.I. Joe June hit us, and the Hasbro team put out some digital renders for their 50th anniversary police officer, which is a great idea for world building, something we've been waiting for. And FYI, by the way, Ramen Toys, Ace, if you're listening, give us a 1/12 scale police cruiser, please. That's all we're asking for. Hook us up with that. We need that in our world building. But what they failed to do is that buck that they're using for that 50th anniversary police officer is trash. You don't hardly see that out in the real world. When they gave us the real world firefighter, they didn't militarize him, but they gave us a police officer with the Army boots and the knee pads and all geared up for a riot officer. You can't really use them in your everyday displays. What happened to just the slacks or the cargo pants? They need to change that up. They need to fix that before releasing, because that's the kind of stuff we need. We have all the other stuff. Quit trying to be cheap and reuse. Create something new, something classic, because those will sell. I guarantee you. That's something that whether you want to put in your Marvel Legends display, MCU, Valaverse, G.I. Joe, everybody needs some kind of police force in their world building. And speaking of world building, we took some of those Valaverse figures and we were creative. We were creating our own little faction here with our little Japanese-inspired samurais with the modern tech, modern touch. We have here some of our bruisers with the mask and some androids that are carrying their extra ammunition pouches. You know, these are assassin androids. They're tough as nails. They're sleek. They're thin. They're agile, but they're incredibly strong. And I kind of custom painted it to kind of match with that camo pattern from those Valaverse bucks. And we took the gray and black one and we gave it kind of more of a stealth look. Maybe he's the top guy, one of the higher echelons, all blacked out. We took a G.I. Joe figure, a G.I. Joe Ninja. We put that Senshi body armor that was already green, kind of matches his own original green, and gave it a creative look there. And that's the fun part. Shout out to content creators like Savage Land, who's great at doing dioramas and world building, and we love that use of imagination. One of the things that he highlights in one of his videos is mentioning how you can customize your existing collection and kind of rekindle that joy in the things you already have, instead of being frustrated and waiting for the things to drop that take all year long of waiting and waiting and waiting. It's so frustrating to get stuff out. We see it coming down the pipeline, but it's nothing but delays and empty promises. We creators want something in hand that we can be creative with, and sometimes that means re-exploring your existing collection and retooling things or changing things up to be able to make it new again and have fun with it. Or maybe you keep it that way for a few months and then you decide to revisit it and completely change it into something different. But this is our version of that modern Japanese military look. Here we have General Hawk with our police units and perhaps a more blacked out SWAT unit. That ramen van in the back makes a great SWAT van, but Ace, we need a 112th police cruiser, and make it a good one. Make it a Dodge Charger. Make it something iconic that can fit at least two police officers and room in the back for some perps, if you know what I'm talking about. So we got our police force here, and I really think, leave a comment down below if you agree, disagree, that Hasbro has got to go back to the drawing board and give us something a little bit better for that 50th anniversary police officer. Don't get me wrong, I love the accessories, I love the vest that came with Law and Order. That looks great. I wish you didn't have to heat things up, boil it up, and stretch things out just to take it off that buck to use it on a different character. It'd be great if it was a little bit more modular and came off easier, but that's exactly what we're looking for. That's what we need, and I bet you a lot of people are going to be buying up multiples just to be able to use the great accessories that are packed into that figure. So I expect that one to sell out pretty quick. Out of all the 50th anniversary figures, that one is probably the one that is most relevant for world building, except for that buck. Come on, Hasbro, give us something a little bit better. Love the head sculpts. Think I'm going to use them on different bodies, but we need something that looks more like the police officers that we're used to seeing. And there may be a little bit of a controversy right now. That might have been one of the reasons why they did a no call, no show on their Yojo June earlier this week and didn't mention anything and kind of skipped over it, because they know they got to do a little bit of retooling on that look that looks a little too militarized to be your standard police officer. Like I said, they didn't give us a militarized version of a firefighter, so why are they doing that with the police officer? Check out this unit here. You see the badges on display. Some of those chest rigs are custom with 3 magazine holders, some with 4. We're using some of the great accessories in the battle packs that Valaverse has put out. Looking forward to seeing what else they will produce here that they'll show us on that panel in DFW. Excited to see some new stuff and hoping that we don't have to wait for another year to be able to get it in hand. And yes, we're talking about you, Fresh Monkey Fiction, Big Bad Toy Store. You promised so much to be dropped in the second quarter of 2025. Well, it's past the second quarter. We're halfway through the year and we're still waiting for those pre-ordered figures. Thanks for sticking with us till the end. Make sure you smash that like button so we can make more videos, and get active in that comment section. Let us know what you'd like to see more of and what you're working on. Leave us a link to check out some of your stuff and get some inspiration. Until next time, remember that at the end of the day gonna end. So make sure you end up next to the person that makes it worth all the while. Peace.